Hello?
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 Robinson Show.
Yeah, this is Tony.
Tony DeSantis, how you doing?
Not bad yourself.
Pretty good, pretty good. You're an actor. You're from Montreal, correct?
That's originally from Montreal.
Oh.
Now I'm living just outside of Toronto, the suburbs.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how long have you been acting? You have a lot of titles on your IMDb.
I guess since 1982. That's when I moved to Toronto.
Cool. Where did you move from?
From Montreal.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
Yeah.
you didn't act in Montreal. I didn't know
Well,
that.
I did, but nothing. No professional credits. Just a lot of amateur stuff. Just getting my feet wet.
Is Toronto a much better scene for that?
Well, for the English market, yes. I mean, I am bilingual. I've done a few shows in Montreal on TV in French, but when I started out, the real place to be was Toronto if you wanted to act in the English market.
Okay. What
Yeah.
has acting changed a lot through the years you've done it?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, today with YouTube and stuff like that, people are creating their own little movies every week. There's something new out there, and it's just more accessible for people today than it was, back 30 years ago.
Yeah. What does that hurt? Does that hurt the the film industry at all, or?
I think if you're in it for the long haul, no. I mean, a lot of these people just want their 15 minutes, so that's what attracts them to YouTube and stuff like that. But if you're dedicated to your craft, as they say, then you'll stick with it, and you won't be affected by these flash in the pans that pop up now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. What and you've like I said, you've been in a lot. You've been in Red with Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman. You've been in Narc with Ray Liotta and a lot of other titles. What's been your favorite role throughout the years?
Oh God, favorite role. Well, you know what? It probably is the series I did in Montreal. It was a French version of The Sopranos. It actually came out before The Sopranos, and it's funny because it kind of mirrored a lot of the same storylines, And I played sort of a rebellious capo who tried to take over the family, and of course I met, my
Your fate?
my demise quite early by doing that. But it was a lot of fun, I mean,
Yeah.
and being recognized on the street once it aired, it was kind of a new experience for me. But I'd say that was probably the highlight of my career.
Cool. That's awesome.
Unfortunately, nobody in the States or in the English side of Canada got to see it, but the Quebecers loved it.
Did that get played in France as well, or was it just in that one market?
It got played in France, and I think they did a dubbed version in English, which I don't think did that well.
Yeah.
When you start dubbing those things, it gets a little hokey.
Right.
Yeah. What's one of the craziest things you ever seen go down during something getting filmed?
When I was doing Sea of Love with Al Pacino, he and Ellen Barkin did not get along at all during the filming, and of course they had to, have this attraction and this chemistry. And it's funny because, Al Pacino was probably, my idol when I was, starting in the biz, and when I met him, I was like, tripping all over myself. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Pacino, blah blah blah. And then on set, he became this kind of prima donna, real selfish. Geez, I hope I don't get sued for this, but he was a prick,
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and of course Ellen Barkin didn't hold back, and when the director would yell cut, she would just lash out and say, "This guy's a fucking asshole."
Wow. Well, that's like what I heard Kevin Smith say about Bruce Willis when he made what was that movie, Cop Out? He kind of like contributed that to his retiring for a while. He was like, he was such a prick. I couldn't fucking stand him.
Sea of Love was Pacino's kind of rebound film. It sort of kick-started his career again, but he really made it hell for everybody else on set.
Wow.
And John Goodman, who, I think that was one of his, early roles. He was a blast to be with.
He seems like he would be.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. The guy's he's a partier. He's loves to tell jokes and stories. He was just great to be around,
Yeah.
It's like one of the greatest actors ever.
One of those guys that makes movies too, like that Cloverfield Lane. Like I only liked it because John Goodman was fucking amazing.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
Have you seen what was the one Argo?
No, I actually haven't.
You'd love him in that.
I like to, what was he in, I think it was The History of Violence. He was like this arms dealer or like mafia boss almost. Like, it was pretty cool, pretty cool.
He was in Red State too. He was great in Red State as well.
Yeah, he's done a lot of great roles.
Yeah.
Tony, what your web series, Boombats? How long have you been making that?
Well, I wrote the first season's all written. I wrote 8 episodes, and the only problem now is that we met with the producer, and she said, why are you doing a web series? Why don't you just go for a half-hour comedy? Because most people who do web series, that's their goal, is to get a half-hour comedy out of it. So it kind of stopped me in my tracks, and I've been sort of, for the last couple of weeks, rewriting it, and I finally came up with a draft for a half-hour comedy, which I'm pretty happy with.
Cool.
And I think we still will try and go the web series route because it's cheaper, and maybe if we get a bit of a buzz going with that, we can raise more money to do the series itself.
And real quick, could you give a brief synopsis for our fans? It's like a mafia comedy, correct?
Yeah. It's about this guy named Bobby Boombats Batali. He's the black sheep of the family. Wherever there's trouble, he'll find it, and he's the family screw up, and he's a chronic gambler. He's owes a ton of money to the mob, so he does odd jobs for them on the side. But he also started his own business called Odd Job Bob, so where his slogan is he'll do anything for a buck. And he's this sort of misguided entrepreneur, and he's constantly trying to impress his older brother who lives at home with his mom, and he's a closeted homosexual, and everybody knows, but he still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. It was hilarious.
Oh, thanks, man.
I loved how it was like they were trying to be PC, but the old Italian mother, she just wasn't. It was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of an Italian mother in all of us, I think.
Mine haunts me all the time. Do you play any?
Are you
What's
that? Italian?
Yeah, I am.
Are you Italian?
Yeah, I think these guys too.
I am too. Yeah.
Me too.
What about you?
Not at all.
I got one of those Italian grandmas.
Same
really?
with me. I have an Italian grandma
Yep.
as well. Yep.
And she'll cook for like 50
amazing.
people, even though there's 3 of us there. Like,
Yeah.
That's right. You can wake her up any time of day, and she'll get into the kitchen and start cooking.
You've already had thirds, and she's like insisting you have 3 more plates. Like, it's like, no, Nan, I'm full. I'm gonna throw up over here.
And that's just dinner. The dessert comes after
yes,
that.
exactly.
That's right. And then you get all the leftovers to bring home, which could feed like a small country.
Yes. I was gonna ask you, Tony, do you use anybody from real life as inspiration for any of the characters?
Well, actually, Nona, the character that I play, is kind of a combination of. I have this great aunt in Hamilton, which is about 20 minutes from where I live, and she's over 100 now. She's 104, I think.
Wow, God bless her.
And she was an amazing cook, and basically, I'm pretty much doing her. That's how she talks and everything, you know. So, yeah.
That's great.
It's a nice kind of tribute to her, you know.
Yeah.
So, and for the other characters, not really. Just stuff that I, came up with in the moment, and so it was a lot of fun. We did the little demo. It took us about half a day to shoot that, and so everybody's on board. We're just kind of on hold right now to see. We got a couple of meetings lined up with some producers and waiting to hear back from other networks and stuff. So
that's awesome.
These things take forever, but like I told the cast, I said, in terms of age, it's only going to help us if it takes a while for it to get done, because I'll be older, closer to Nona's age by the time we shoot it, and the other guys will just be, whatever age the characters have to be.
Yeah. How did you find the other actors? Did you already know them previously, or did you have an opening?
The two boys, the guys who play my sons, they're good friends of mine. We've known each other for years, and it was just a pet project that I wrote with them in mind, and I'm trying to, write parts for all my friends, and my daughter is going to be in it as well, and my friend's daughter. It's sort of a family affair,
Cool. That's cool.
Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it take a while to raise? Did you fundraise for it, or did you just do it all
on
your own?
We haven't started any kind of fundraising yet, because we're still there's a couple of more grants and funds that we have to apply for, but we missed the spring deadline, so we're going to try for the fall. A lot of these are like government-funded arts programs, and we talked about doing a Kickstarter campaign, but it's really just bugging your friends and family, and it doesn't fit right with me. So then they'll stop answering the phone when you call, and or when they won't respond to your emails anymore if you start that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to alienate myself any more than I have to.
And so far, you said you have a lot written, but is the only thing you filmed the trailer?
We only filmed the trailer. Yeah, we it's the scripts are all set to go. If we suddenly get a
bite.
Well, if we get some angel donor who'll finance the whole thing, then we're all set to go.
My intern just pulled his wallet out. He wants to give you his his social security number.
Got some clams.
I love you.
Are you going to enter it, Tony? Like in any film festival or like festivals?
Once it gets done, absolutely. I know there's a ton of new festivals that have popped up for web series, and we'll blitz them all and see what happens. I mean, it can't hurt, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, today's the first day of summer.
Oh, it is? I've been wondering.
Yeah.
I was at a store the other day, and they've already had all their summer stuff, like all the seasonal stuff on clearance. I'm like, summer, I didn't even...
Oh, my God.
I didn't think it started yet. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, back to school stuff is going out. I'm
yeah,
like,
really. They'll be back
They're
to school next week, and then Halloween the following week.
Yeah. And then Christmas. Christmas in the end of October. It's disgusting.
And then Christmas will last for like the 3 months, though. Until
of course.
They bring out
they'll start the playing Christmas carols in the stores probably about the end of September.
Yeah.
God, I hate it.
It's the worst. They've really ruined all the holidays.
I know. It's terrible.
I remember when I was younger in my 20s, I worked at a store, and they started before Thanksgiving, and I thought that was too soon. And now, like we're saying, it's right after Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as Halloween's done, boom, they start with the Christmas carols.
What about the Italian get-togethers, Tony? Like, does that drive you nuts? Because when I'm at, the families, there's always like, after 25 minutes, I got to go outside. It's too loud for me. It gets nutty.
We were talking about that one day, like when we were growing up. Some nights we'd get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and you'd have to walk through this like blue haze in the kitchen, and all the relatives were there smoking and drinking till,
Yes.
3 in the morning or whatever.
Yes, playing
And,
cards.
Yeah, playing cards or something, and on the way to the bathroom, you just had to walk through this fog of smoke and yelling, and I mean, it was all good times,
Yeah, I remember my mom would take me to my grandmother's and bring me home, and my dad would just be like, "You smell disgusting. You smell like cigarettes." Like,
do the Italian families still do that? Because like the family like gatherings and units aren't like people don't sit down and eat dinner together.
my
anymore,
family does though when we get together, and like
Yeah.
we'll stay, even if we're there for dinner, we'll stay out till like 2 in the morning. Yeah, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on. Depends. I think as long as you've got a grandparent in there, all the traditions are upheld. As soon as the grandparents are out of the picture, I think it gets harder, and then married, and then they start going to the other spouse's house for holidays. It starts to get sort of split up a bit, but as long as you got the grandparents in the picture, I think it always, the traditions are upheld.
Yeah. Do you still
I
have a
think
lot?
so.
Oh, do you still have a lot of like older like family members, Tony? Because mine have been the past couple of years. We don't have that many left. It's kind of sad, like you're saying.
Mine are
Like
pretty much gone.
most
too.
of my great aunts and uncles are gone. My grandmother and
Yeah.
like one other one, and one of my other great aunts is the only one still around from that
Yeah.
that time.
I
you
mean,
know?
I'm lucky. I still got my parents, but my dad is 92. My mom's 86, and but I just lost an aunt a couple of maybe 2 months ago. It seems like every couple of months there's a funeral or something.
The last couple of years that's how it's been. Like everyone was fine for the longest time, and then the past couple of years it's been like that.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the family get-togethers now. It's either weddings or funerals,
Yup, exactly. That's what we say.
I prefer the weddings, even though it hurts my pocketbook. But,
Yeah. That's what my cousin Charlie said. He's like, "Yeah, we got to get together. We're dropping them like flies, and I don't want to be the next fly."
That's right.
Yeah, it's tough.
Oh man, as long as you live each day to the fullest, have a nice glass of wine once in a while, or a beer in your case.
Yeah. How's it? It's not too bad. Usually we got a bunch of empties.
Well, it's summertime now, so I switched to beer.
Yeah.
I have a hard time drinking beer in the winter.
What's
too cold.
Really? See, I do drink more beers in the summer, but I could drink it all year. What's your beer of choice, Tony?
I don't know. There's a lot of these microbreweries that have started up in the last couple of years. So there's a place in Toronto, the Mill Street Brewery, and they make some nice IPAs.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what kind of wine do you like?
I like Chianti. We went to Italy for the first time, my wife and I, last year, because my brother-in-law retired and he rented a place for 9 months in Florence.
Nice.
So we went there to visit these guys, and the wine there was like for a 2-liter bottle, it was like €3. That it's more expensive to buy bottled water in the store than it is to get wine.
Yeah.
But it was great. I love the stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's just part of life there.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about Italy?
Well, we went to Rome, and we did a few little day tours around Florence. I think Siena was probably one of my favorite spots. It was really nice, and but Florence is a beautiful city too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had more time to explore, but I found Rome was a little snotty. The people were a bit aloof and cool towards us. And but I mean, it was neat checking out the Coliseum and all the old places. I mean, you got to see it, experience it at least once.
Yeah. I heard the Coliseum is full of like stray cats.
Yeah, it is. They're everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really. I don't know where they were hiding out, but I didn't see them when I was there.
That's like the boardwalk
Maybe
here. They're all under the boardwalk. Like,
Also, if you go
Oh, really?
yeah.
Also, if you go to Pompeii, there's like stray dogs all over Pompeii.
Is there?
They're just
really?
running wild. Like,
I never been there.
Wow.
I was supposed to go in my senior year, but I got sick that year and I missed like so much school. Like if I missed any
Really?
more, I'd have to get left back, and that was a senior trip. That was to Italy, and I had to get my wisdom teeth out. So instead of going to Italy, I had to have my wisdom teeth out. So it was miserable.
that is miserable.
No kidding. At least you got the whatchamacallit, the drugs.
Yeah.
You know, the
I think I slept
Yeah,
for like 3 days straight. I think I got home,
Yeah.
I watched Blues Brothers, and passed out, and I slept for like 3 days straight.
yeah. When I had my wisdom teeth out, I went home. I had pizza, and I think I was drinking a beer, but I thought I was swallowing it, but it was like spilling out of my mouth, you know. But I couldn't feel anything, so it was just running down my shirt.
I had all four out at once, and it was rough.
Yeah, same here.
Well, that's
yeah.
the way to do it. Why would you do that to yourself more than once?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, no, I love this shit. Do one at a time.
only one.
I'll be back every other month.
I'm keeping all this wisdom. All this other wisdom, I'm keeping that. My dad never had his taken out because they never caused a problem, but but like a few, maybe like earlier this year, they found there was like, I guess it was rotting inside or something, and it was like a cyst, so they still had to take it out. So I think even if like you don't have them taken out, there'll be a problem at some point.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think you're better off getting them pulled.
Yeah.
I remember he asked me, did I want to keep them? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want that thing. It's,
Yes, can you actually drill holes in them so I can keep them on a necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
our intern, he has his though. He showed us it, Tony, and it's like a dinosaur tooth. It's so big.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen them.
We should do a giveaway for our season finale.
Whoever get his wisdom tooth.
Our 100th caller gets Slambo's tooth.
Who knows what they're gonna do with it?
We don't care what they do with it.
What if some like?
Hey, where are you guys based out of?
We're in South Jersey, Tony. About
Are you kidding?
No. About 40 minutes from
Great.
AC.
Fabulous.
You ever been to Jersey?
When I was a kid, yeah. I haven't been. I think the last time I was in New York was, back in the 90s. I think my son was maybe 2 years old or something.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah, he's 28 now, so
Yeah.
so do the math, you know.
Does he do any acting?
No, he's actually a musician, a singer-songwriter, and he's living in England now with his girlfriend. But he goes under the name Whitebrow, if ever you want to Google him.
Definitely.
He's written some great stuff. My daughter, unfortunately, followed in my footsteps. She's an actress, and she just got her first professional gig a couple of weeks ago. We did the same episode of this TV series in Toronto called Murdoch Mysteries. It's about this detective in the turn of the century in Toronto, and it's pretty good show. It's got a lot of ratings, and this was her first professional job. So it was kind of neat. We didn't have any scenes together, unfortunately, but I was happy that she got her first acting role.
That's cool.
In the same episode as that I was in.
Yeah. Why do you say unfortunately she went into acting?
Well, I mean, just because I know what lies ahead, and and I hope she's prepared and she's tough enough for it. I think she's probably a little more sensitive than I was, so
Yeah.
rejection starts to get to you after a while, but she's still smiling, and she's keeping her sunny side up. So I wish her all the best.
Yeah. Was
But
there
it
ever
is,
like a really long like drought that you had for finding roles?
Oh yeah, I think my longest drought was probably 2 years, a couple of years ago. And you know, I think I actually left the biz for after that 2 year period. I figured, you know, this is crazy. I got, you know, kids. I got to feed and stuff. So I just started working part time, doing a lot of work on the side. You know, renovating with friends of mine and stuff. And then I got a call from a casting director one day, and she says, I've got a commercial I think you'd be good for. Do you want to come in and read for it? And I said, well, I'm not really in the biz anymore. And she said, I know, but I think you can pull this off. It's a funny part, and it's shooting in South Africa. And it was in January, and I said, okay, what the hell? I got nothing to lose. So I went in, and then I got a call back, and then they booked me. So this was just before Christmas, and I spent about 2 weeks in South Africa shooting this, 30-second spot, and had a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice when you get a working holiday, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a welcome back to the business.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
really.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, we have to wrap this up, but thank you so much for talking to us.
Oh, man, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for having me on the show.
No problem. Where can everybody find you?
What's that?
Where
can they find me?
Yeah.
I guess, the Boombats Twitter and the Facebook page. That's pretty much how I keep in touch with everybody, and my IMDb page, I guess.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. It was great, and all the best.
You too.
Have a great summer.
Thank you. You too.
You as well.
Take care, man.
Come on.
Take care.